we are going to discuss an important chapter related to the intermediate examinations, MSET, NEET, and IIT. The chapter name is Solution. And before going to discuss in detail about the solution chapter, let us discuss briefly related to this chapter. In first year also, intermediate 11th class, intermediate first year and 11th class, we have learned about the stoichiometry, in which we have already have little knowledge about the related to this chapter. In this chapter, mainly we are going to discuss about the types of solutions, related to one, temperature, two, based on temperature one, we are going to discuss. The other one is physical state of the solution. Physical state of the solution. So as we come for this is the first topic what we are going to discuss in this chapter. The next topic, concentration terms. Concentration terms. Concentration terms, in which we are going to discuss about the mass percentage, volume percentage, mass volume percentage, mole fraction, molarity, etc. We are going to discuss in this topic. Concentration terms, which are also called as concentration terms. Third one, we are going to discuss about the solubility. Solubility. In this solubility, we may discuss about the Henry's law along with Raoult's law. So here we are going to discuss two laws relating to the solubility also. Then fourth point what we are going to discuss under this chapter, colligative property. Colligative property. In this colligative properties, we will discuss RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, osmotic pressure. These are the subtopics we will discuss under this one. Next, last topic, abnormalities. In this abnormalities, because of the abnormalities, changes in the differences in the solution, means like some properties are going to be. That is abnormal factor, we can say that I factor, compressibility factor, we may say that K factors they are going to discuss. Along with this, the first topic we start today, that is types of solution. As we come for the types of solution, based on temperature, there are two types. Basing the temperature, we can categorize the solutions into two categories. One, we may say that temperature based means temperature related with change of temperature. Nature of the solution is going to be changed. The other one is independent of temperature. The solution which are dependent of temperature, and the other one is independent of temperature. Before that, let us start with the beginning of the chapter. What is solution? Let us discuss about the solution first. Yes, in this chapter, solution means what? Before going to discuss about the solution, let us know first what is the pure component. Do you have any idea about the component? Yes, I am expecting that everybody is having certain information about the component, pure component. See, for example, water we are taking, pure water, it is a component. Similarly, sugar you take, it is a component. Glucose you take, it is also a component. Like this, these all are what? Pure components. But in our regular life, we are relating to the not only single component. See, suppose we are taking and drinking tea or coffee, or people are drinking cold drinks. In all those substances, they are not a single component. They are not. They are made with two or more components. Similarly, when you are coming for the solution, when we are discussing about the solution, it is not because of single component. It is a mixture of two or more components, and that mixture is what? Uniformly mixed. Mixture means equally distributed particles will be there. Like this, for example, a beaker I am taking. And this beaker, I have taken a liter of water. Assume a liter of water I have taken, into which I am trying to dissolve glucose of 500 grams of glucose. I have taken 500 grams of glucose, and I have started using stirrer or spoon, something. I have stirred it properly, and after certain time interval, we can see that the glucose totally disappeared in the water. After disappearing the glucose, if you taste this portion, we know the taste, and it will be little sweet. This portion I have tasted, it is sweet in taste. Similarly, other portion I have taken. So this portion I have taken, and again I have seen the taste. It is also similar to that sweet. Another portion I am taking. Again, this is also same taste. Means what? The glucose which is dropped in the water is distributed uniformly in the water. That is the reason every part of the water is sweet in taste. And this mixture is called a solution. This mixture is called a solution. In this mixture, we have two components. One is glucose, the other one is water. So now we say that this is a solution. It is not because of one component. In this, we have two components. One is called glucose, the other one is water. So because of two components, we prepared a solution. Now each portion in this solution is like, similar. Hence it is called homogeneous. Now we can define the solution. Homogeneous mixture of two or more components is called solution. If we take only two components in a solution, that solution is called binary solution. According to our syllabus, IP intermediate syllabus or NCERT syllabus, we mostly related to the binary solutions. Now, whatever the example I have given is comes under binary solution. In this, we have used only one glucose, one component, another one is water, hence it is called binary solution. It is a binary solution. Similarly, you can take so many examples: salt in water, sugar in water, oil in petrol, diesel in petrol, So these all comes under what? Binary solution. These all are what? Binary solutions. According to our syllabus, we have only binary solution. We have to discuss about the binary solution. We are not going to discuss more than the solutions which are having more than two components. They are called as polynomial solutions. They are called as polynomial solutions. We are not going to relate to the polynomial solution. We related to only binary solution. We are discussing. We are going to discuss about the binary solution. I think you people have understood about the solution. What is the solution? Once again, finally, I'm giving final touch for the solution. A homogeneous mixture of two or more components is known as solution. As I have discussed types of solution, now we are going to discuss about the types of solution. See, basing on temperature, related to the temperature, we can divide the solutions into two categories. One, temperature dependent, another one is temperature independent. Temperature dependent solutions. The solutions we can temperature dependent and temperature independent. Independent of temperature. Dependent. Yes. Dependent temperature. How to remember? Very simply, I'll give you the information. You will remember forever. The solutions in which we use volume, one of the factor volume. Volume related, all the solutions volume related are temperature dependent. Like molarity, normality, mole fraction, molarity, normality, volume percentage, etc. comes under temperature dependent. Means wherever we use volume factor, volume related solutions, all the volume related solutions comes under the temperature dependent. And the remaining are what? Mass related solution comes under temperature independent of temperature. Means like the mole fraction, molality. Those are the examples we can discuss about the independent of temperature. Like this, we can categorize or we can differentiate solutions in two categories based on the temperature. Under the types of solution, based on the temperature, there are two types. One is temperature dependent, another one is temperature independent. When you are coming for the temperature independent, to identify, to know very simply, just you need to remember whether the solution is related to the volume or not. If it is related to the volume, then compulsory it is related to the temperature. With change of temperature, because volume will change. It's a change of temperature. If you increase the temperature, volume of the solution also, there is a small change. You can have a relation with the volume. Therefore, you need to remember that one. When if it is mass related, so no question of changing the mass with change of the temperature. Mass will not be changed with the temperature, so therefore, it is not going to be changed. Like this, we can categorize the solution in two categories as the temperature, based on the temperature. Then, based on the physical state of the solution. Yes, physical state of the solution actually depends on the nature of the solvent. Now, what is solvent? Till now, we have not used the solvent word. What is solvent word? Solvent word is nothing but when we are preparing a solution by mixing two or more components, the one which is in large portion or large quantity is called solvent, and the other one which is in small quantity, small portion, is called solute. Solute may be 1, 2, 3, 4, but solvent is only one. solvent is always generally in larger portion, which is called more larger portion, that is called solvent. The other one is solute. Now, basing on that, solutions are of totally nine types. We can say that with example also I am going to give you the information. Solution, types of solution. See, very well known examples also I am going to give you that based on the physical state. First, let us say gaseous state. Solution. In this gaseous state of the solution, in this solvent is gas. Solvent is gas. Solute will be different. So solute, I'll take here, I'll write here as simple. This is what solvent, and example I'm writing here. 1, 2 example. Let us see. Solute. Physical state of the solute I'm taking. Gas in gas. So now the solvent is also gas. No doubt. Both of them are gases. Very well known example, you know that is mixture of nitrogen and oxygen. Atmospheric gas. Simply known as atmospheric gas. Mixture of called mixture or solution. Meanwhile, I'll tell you that heterogeneous mixture also. Very simple example. Suppose sand is dissolved in water. Sand is dissolved in water. It forms an heap at the bottom, and we can separate it very easily using a filter. That is heterogeneous mixture. That is not a solution. Solution, because it is not that much of important. Just to know you people, to understand what is mixture and what is solution, I have given information. But we are not going to discuss much more about the mixture, heterogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous and homogeneous. We related to, according to our syllabus, we have homogeneous solution. We have to concentrate on that, and we have to grab the marks from the any competitive exam. If you go like this, we can grab the marks very easy. Gaseous state of the solution. First type I am discussing. Under this, 3 categories are there. One is called gas in gas. Example, well-known example, nitrogen and mixture of nitrogen and oxygen. That is called solution. Second one is liquid in gas. Now see, solute. Solute means what? Which is in lower quantity. Solvent means what? Which is in larger quantity. Repeatedly I am telling you to remember very easily. Now I am taking example. Chloroform, well known chloroform in nitrogen. Chloroform in nitrogen. Mix chloroform, add that chloroform into this one, will be added, will be chloroform. Now solid in gas again. Now solid is what? Solute. What is that? Solid is solute again. The solvent is again gas. Well known example, camphor. If you don't recollect the camphor, I'll tell you in simple language, that is we may say that Arthi Karpuram. Arthi Karpuram, what you are using at the time of prayer, that is called camphor. In oxygen or air, or we can take nitrogen. So these are the example where we are coming that to know that the solutions are nothing but in gaseous state. The solution physical state is gaseous state. That's what we are discussing. Second point, second solution, that is what? Liquid solution. Liquid solution. Again, gas in liquid. Here now again I have changed. But this is what? Gas. Solute is gas. Solvent is liquid now. Sorry. Liquid solutions we are discussing. Solvent is liquid. When we are taking solvent as liquid, Example, well-known example, I'll tell you that aerated water means oxygen in water. As we come for the oxygen in water, dissolved oxygen is available in water. Because of the dissolved oxygen, the aquatic animals are continuing their life. The aquatic animals are continuing their life. That is very well-known example. For example, one more example I'll tell you that, which you know very easily. That is what Coke, Thumbs Up, Mirinda, etc. In which you have aerated cool drinks. All these cool drinks comes under the same example because to retain their flavors, gases are mixed in that. So carbon dioxide, like etc. Gases are mixed in that. So to retain their flavor. So that is one more. Next, liquid in liquid. Oh, well-known examples are there. So many examples we can give here. Petrol and diesel, kerosene and diesel, etc. Examples we can give. Even we can take milk in water. Next, solid, solid in liquid, very well known. Just now I have given you that glucose in water, sugar in water, salt in water. Sugar in water, etc. Examples are comes under this topic. So this is about the liquid solution. When you are coming for the third category, see till now we have finished six types of solution. In this six types of solution, gas is one solvent, liquid is the other solvent. Finally, we are going to discuss about the solid solution. Solid solution. What are solid solutions? Where we are discussing examples. With examples, I'll give you the total information. And meanwhile, some examination oriented questions also we can expect here. Some alloys like that, for example. Solid solution. Third one is solid solution. In this, solvent is solid again. This solvent is solid. So let us take gas in solid, liquid in solid, solid in solid. Gas in solid. During hydrogenation of oil saturation, making the vanaspati, we take generally commonly lead as a catalyst, and hydrogen will adhere to that. Hydrogen will adhere on the lead surface, hydrogenated lead, hydrogen with lead, hydrogen with lead, or plumbum. This is one of the examples. Gas, hydrogen is a gas, solid is plumbum, lead. Similarly, liquid, solid. Amalgams, you heard amalgams, you know very well. Mercury. Mercury is generally liquid in state. Mercury is generally liquid state. When it is mixed with any metal, easily it forms a solution. There is no reaction between that. Only a solution can be formed between liquid mercury and a metal. Very well known example, I'll tell you that. Sodium amalgam. In sodium amalgam, Hg will be the liquid and sodium is the metal. In between them, a combination is going to form, that is called amalgam. Not only sodium, any amalgam you take. Sodium amalgam. Sodium amalgam. And lastly, well-known one, solid solution. Solid in solid. Alloys. Well-known alloys, I'll tell you that. Bronze, German silver, etc. branch, copper and zinc. Branch is a mixture of copper and zinc. Copper and zinc. German silver. In this German silver, we don't have silver, but it is named as silver because it looks like that. German silver, in which we have nickel, copper, and zinc. It is a mixture of three metals: nickel, copper, and zinc. So, these two examples repeatedly we have seen in IP examination. In IP examination, just examples are asked repeatedly. So, two mark questions. So, this is about the solid. So, under the types of solutions, we learned basing on temperature, two types of solutions. One temperature dependent solutions, the other one is temperature independent solution. Second, types of solutions based on the physical state we have learned. Here, totally 9 types of solutions we have seen. Among the 9 types of solutions, solvent is based on whatever the solid state, solution state we observe is similar to the solvent state. If solvent is solid, solution physical state is also solid. If solvent is liquid, solution physical state is also liquid. If solvent is gas, solution physical state is again gas. Like this, we can discuss about the types of solutions. These are the types of solutions, and mainly we have to remember here these alloys because repeatedly they are asking two more questions. What is the branch? What is a German? So this is what about the different types of solutions. After this, we are going to discuss about the concentration terms. And general things related in our life. In our life, daily life may be related to this concentration term. See, suppose 1 liter of water I have taken in a beaker and I have added 5 spoons of sugar. Then I have stirred it properly to dissolve it. After dissolving, if I taste it, little sweet in taste we can observe. I can observe it is a little sweet. Similarly, see, two solutions I am preparing, taking in two different bowls, say beaker. This is the one beaker. Another beaker I have taken. I'm not telling you how much sugar I'm adding. Just I'm the kind of information I'm taking. I'm giving you people. Just that here I have taken 1 liter of water. Even in this beaker also I have taken 1 liter of. In this I'm adding only 10 spoons or 10 spoons of sugar. Similarly, here I am adding around 500 grams of sugar. Means not related to the grams, just you say that key 50 spoons or say 100 spoons. 100 spoons. 100 spoons of sugar. Then, if you taste it, this will be little in sweet taste, but here it will be more in sweet taste. Based on the amount of, see, in both the cases, water quantity is same. 1 liter water, 1 liter. Here we have taken only 10 spoons of sugar. Here we have taken 100 spoons of sugar. And in this we can feel that the more sweet in taste compared to this one. And this is called generally concentrated solution. This is called dilute solution. Means basing on the amount of solute, how much quantity of solution. Here just related to this 10 spoons and 100 spoons, we are discussing about the solution. One is called dilute solution and another one is the concentrated solution. Here, this concentration of the solution to know pakka quantitatively to determine the how much amount of solute is available in the solution. How much amount of solute is available in the solution? We use concentration terms to determine exactly how much quantity of solute is available in a solution or how much quantity of solvent is available in the solution. So, concentration terms we are going to discuss. In this concentration terms, we may say that mass percentage, the first concentration term is nothing but mass percentage. Mass percentage related to this one. See, very simple. Mass of the, it is defined as mass of the solute or one component. Mass of one component, or you take mass of solute and to the mass of total solution into 100. Percentage is nothing but multiplied with 100. The whole thing is multiplied with 100 is nothing but 10% glucose in water. Example I am taking 10% glucose in water. Means what? Suppose solution is taken 100 grams, solution total mass of solution is 100 grams. In that we have 10 grams of sugar, glucose. In that we have 10 grams of glucose. Simple. You will understand very easily in daily life. You take a spoon, assume it is 10 grams, and you take 100 grams remaining water, then you have mixed it, you are mixing it. After mixing, you are getting a solution, and that solution is to, if it equal to totally 100 grams, then that is called as 10 grams of glucose, 10% of glucose water. So that is very simple. Like this, we can come to know about the and very well known these days, Corona's days, you heard that sodium hypochlorite solution is used widely. Sodium hypochlorite solution is used widely. That is nothing but 3.62% sodium hypochlorite solution. In the, it means if it is taken 100 grams of water, in that we have 3.6 grams of 62 grams of 3.62 grams of sodium hypochlorite solution, NaOCl. These corona days, what they are spraying everywhere. This is the solution. Every day, daily, they are intimating you people, they are spraying this is the solution, and in which we have 3.62 grams. It should not be increased than this one. So this is the solution what they are using to spray to reduce the corona effect. In this way, we can go for the mass percentage. After this, second one is volume percentage. Volume by volume. See, volume of one component, volume of a component by total volume of component into 100. So this is what we need to remember. So here also again, suppose total volume is given 100 ml is given a solution, 100 ml solution is given, in which suppose we have 10 milliliters of one liquid, means the other one remaining is what? Solid. Like that, we can take a volume of a component, then total volume of, suppose 20% ethyl alcohol in 100 ml of solution is nothing but 20 milliliters of 20 milliliters of ethyl alcohol is available in the 100 ml of the solution. And here it is also we are using in daily life. See, to reduce the temperature of car engines, ethylene glycol liquid is used. Ethylene glycol liquid is used by mixing with water, that is around 30%. 30% of ethylene glycol is mixed with mixed solution is used. In this 30% means what? Ethylene glycol C2H4O2 formula is ethylene glycol. This ethylene glycol mixed with mixed solution is used to reduce the temperature as a coolant to reduce the temperature of the car engine. This is the solution used. So these are the two examples under which we are using. Volume, percentage we learned. Meanwhile, mass percentage also we learned. After the mass percentage and volume percentage, let us discuss mass to volume first. Mass to volume. Third one, we are discussing under concentration terms. Third one, that is mass to. These are very simple basics. Mass to volume. So, how much quantity now? See, quantity, I am not telling you how many grams of sugar is present. Sugar, how many grams of one solute, one substance, one component is available in the given solution, 100 ml of solution. Suppose 10 grams of sugar or salt, 10 grams of sugar or salt is available in 100 ml of solution. So that is what we are taking mass volume percentage we are taking. So this is what 100 grams of sugar in 100 ml of 10 grams of sugar in 100 ml of the solution. So that is and a very trace a small quantity, very negligible quantity also we can calculate in our chemistry. See, suppose sea water we are taking. That is nothing but fourth parameter we are discussing, fourth one, ppm, parts per million, parts per billion we are going to use in the suppose sea water 1 liter of sea water I have taken. Assume that 1 liter of sea water I have taken. It weighs 1030 grams. If you go for the weight, this 1030 grams, and in this very traces how it is calculated. ppm is calculated part of one component or a component by total parts of the components available into 10 to the power of 6. This is what ppm. Very traces value also we can calculate. See, using this calculation, using this method, we can calculate available amount of oxygen in water, because oxygen, slightly dissolved oxygen is available in water. So that can also be calculated in the water. So this is the fourth method for the calculation of concentration. Next, fifth one is mole fraction. Here onwards, whatever we are going to discuss is very important. Till now, these are very less. I don't say that less important, but comparatively, the next topic onwards, like this mole fraction and all, are very important according to the your IP examination, any competitive examination. These are all very important. Mole fraction. Now I am going to take example mole fraction. and it is denoted with X. See, in the name itself, mole fraction. Fraction means simple, we may say that's a ratio. Mole ratio. Mole of one component to the total moles of the component. Mole of one component, simply. See, I can, and it is a subscript with, this X is subscript with a given component. Like suppose XA I am taking, means mole fraction of component A. This is subscript. I am using A subscript which indicates the component name. Suppose instead of A I have taken sugar, I have to write X sugar. If I have taken salt, I have to write instead of A I have to write X salt. Like that, it's X ethyl alcohol, X water, whatever it may be. A is nothing but subscript which denotes, which tells about the substance, what we are taking, what is the component we have taken. So suppose I have taken XA, it is the ratio of Na, means component A, the number of moles. Component A, number of moles, by, if it is binary solution in which we have only two components, one is A, another one is B, then we can say that key Na plus Nb. So here Na is the number of moles of one component, Nb is the number of moles of the other component. Like this, we can take mole fraction. Mole fraction is the ratio between number of moles of one component to the total number of moles of component. Suppose we have more number of components, I number of components, means I components are available. Then we can say that key xi equal to ni by na, nb, nc, so on, ni. Then we can simply epsilon naught using ni by, this is the simple mathematical information for the mole fraction. Once again, why? Because we are going to use this one topic again and again, mole fraction. Mole fraction is nothing but the ratio between the number of moles of the one component to the total number of moles of the. So this is the way we can simply, and we are taking a number of mole fraction. If you have more than two components, then mole fraction, total mole fraction is always one only. Xa plus Xb plus Xc plus so on, Xi is always one. This one we have. Remember always, this helps you. This is about the mole fraction related information. The ratio between number of moles of one component to the. Then what is number of moles? Before going to discuss the next concentration topic, molarity, let us discuss what is number of moles. As you learned in 11th class or intermediate first year, में mole, number of moles is nothing but is weight of the substance component or substance by gram molecular weight. Mass of the substance. In simple method, we can use this one to calculate mole fraction. This is the way we have to calculate about the mole fraction. After the mole fraction, the another concentration term is there. Before that, let us do one numerical sum so that you will come to know about the